11 students were suspended from Northeastern without a tuition refund for violating COVID-19 policies, which could include wearing a mask, staying 6 feet apart. What are everyone's thoughts? Do you all think that they should have been suspended with no tuition?
Think it depends on how, like, if it was a repetitive violation. Like, if it was a repetitive violation and they're constantly putting people's health at risk in the midst of a pandemic, then I think the suspension is justified. But if it was only like a single violation or like two violations, I think that is a bit over the top of a reaction to that.
I think that they should have been suspended, but I think they should have had the tuition refunded.
I don't think they should have had
I think they had a tuition refund, especially since not only are it's probably the parents who are paying a lot, and they already have probably drowning in student debt or whatever, and for that to not even mean anything, especially since I'm not sure how old they are, but I'm assuming if a college student is under the age of 25 and your frontal cortex is not fully developed until you're 25, so that would probably just a dumb decision of them, and they shouldn't have to live with hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt with no reward or anything. Because of something that stupid that they did.
According to the Boston Globe, the university will not be returning a $36,500 fee to the students. I want to say that it kind of goes to show that these institutions are not really seeing students as students, but more as customers. And it goes to show what our higher educational system has become. But at the same time, they knew that students were going to go out and do this regardless. So why didn't they just have their classes through Zoom? Why do they tempt the students and take them to the college when they know that, they're young, they're going to go out and break the rules regardless?
Yeah, you see, that's another thing, is that I don't understand, like, if they think that it's still that the virus is still dangerous enough to the point that we need to wear masks, we need to stay 6 feet apart, we need to take all these precautions. They might as well just have it online if they think it's this dangerous that we need to take all these precautions. It doesn't make sense to me.
I think there is apparently there's been some study that they show that there have been positive effects when you're in person, you have a visual thing. That's a lot better than just online classes. But again, I think, at this point, especially in North Carolina, Arizona, and all those schools, if there is a clear risk, maybe be on campus so you have the community.
Children are the future. The future.
But don't expect to have everyone be on campus without expecting to, if you're going to suspend people, to give them a refund.
Yeah, that's true. And I also do think that it does depend on the area, though. It does depend on the area a lot. Like an area like New Jersey, where cases have been pretty stable and have gone down since the highest levels they reach, could do in person if we really wanted to, but most of our schools aren't. But
here's my whole issue with this is, Jenny, do you know if they have anything about the contracts or the things that they've signed to go to the
what
school?
I know from this is that the students will still be permitted to officially enroll as freshmen in January.
Yeah.
It's all about money to them. That's the thing.
Yeah, but also, here's my thing. So long as they were informed that this was policy, they knew that they violated policy. I'm assuming, I'm going to make the assumption, but I don't know, that they did repeatedly do this because, whatever. But if you sign this contract, they have every legal right to suspend them. I mean, it's the school, they're providing a service, they're violating their contract if there is a contract. So there's no, I don't see anything wrong with suspending the students. I mean, especially because we need to teach students, teach students a lesson. Maybe I'm overreacting, but teach students a lesson for going out and doing this. Plus, I mean, we can say that they're $30,000 now in debt, but in reality, that's just the way this works. This is the way this world works. And I'm sure people get suspended for non-COVID related reasons without tuition refunds all the time as well. So that's my view on this whole situation.
I think there's a difference between what's legally right and what's, I guess, morally right. Like, should you suspend someone without tuition just for violating those rules?
I think that the university just wanted to set an example, like follow the rules or you could be next, and you don't want that to happen, because if they just let things like this slide, then other students are going to be like, hey, if they could do it, we could do it, and it will only make things worse. However, like $36,000, that's a lot of money wasted that like they won't get back, and chances are that they took out loans to pay for this, so the interest will add up to this. It will take longer for them to graduate now and stuff.
That's putting students how much in debt? Was it $36,000 or something like that in debt?
1,000 or something like that. I thought Jenny said.
Okay, well, some number in the tens of thousands in debt as a punishment for this is without actually giving them the education that they paid for is a bit much. Like, and I think saying a bit much is an understatement.
I just wanted, I don't know if you saw this, Jenny, or if anybody was reading some of the articles on this stuff, but it says here that the Boston University dismissed the students after 2 staff members from their program caught them gathering at the Westin Hotel. So they weren't even at the university, which is being used as university housing during the pandemic, the school said on Friday. The Boston Globe reported the university would not return a $36,000 fee. The students each prepared to take part in the semester-long NU in program and international study experience that's located in Boston now. So it's interesting that they're taking their money away, but they're just at a hotel for the university, not even on the university campus.
I would for sure, after hearing that piece of information, I would for sure agree that they should not have been suspended for what they did, from what we know. Absolutely, they should not have been suspended.
Interesting to know if they were even wearing like face masks or anything. Like if they weren't wearing face masks, they weren't social distancing, they weren't following the policy, then it would make sense why they might want to like teach a lesson to them and then everybody else. But if they're wearing a mask, why would you want to suspend them for a semester?
I highly doubt they'd suspend them if they were wearing a mask and 6 feet apart. That'd be way too extra, but I don't know. But like, I would assume that they were in a closer proximity without masks, or maybe with masks, but like way too close for comfort. That's what I'd assume.
It's almost like punishment to make, like, you put all the students, or because it says here that the hotel was used as university housing for some reason, I'm not sure. So they're putting all these kids or all these students into a hotel and then expecting them not to want to hang out and interact with their friends. Like, that's just really weird to me. And what are you going to do? Like, if they're not wearing a mask, but they're somewhat distance apart, are you going to get out a measuring tape and make sure each one of them are 6 feet apart? Like, it seems very silly to me.
It's almost definitely like they are setting them up to fall for this trap. And then just the fact that they don't receive a refund, suspend them, but if you suspend them, they should at least receive their money back since they won't be getting the service.
Yeah, I think just in general, they should have not been on campus. It sounds like if they knew, it sounds like we all know that university kids are going to do this, or college kids are going to do this. So why even risk it and have them on campus when they could just be at home? That's as interesting as maybe it sounded like they were in some international program. So maybe that's why they were in the hotel. I don't know, but I think they definitely shouldn't have been together.